Then we have Trabzon captured by the Ottoman Turks, and Trabzon Roman Empire ended. It was for 200 years between 1204 until about more or less 1460s. And in 1461, Mehmet the Conqueror, who conquered Istanbul, Constantinople, turned around and came back and conquered this Roman Empire and ended the entire business empire, including the small principalities like the one in Trabzon. Then after the Ottomans, we do have, of course, the Russian influence here during the First World War, like the rest of this region. Russians captured Trabzon, and in 1920, Trabzon was again returned back to the Republic of, or the new Republic of Turkey. There are two Saint Sophias in Turkey, one in the world. One is in Istanbul, one is in Trabzon. So this is the second church.
Walking on our way to the monastery, Sumela.
Yeah. 8,000 feet!
Oh.
We made it!
Oh no, a group of Americans! So here's where we enter the monastery.
Nice and soft and really fun to write things on these frescoes. Again, they're from 18th century. They wrote their names down, but also from 18th century and on, all the Greeks that came and visited this monastery up until 1960s when it became a museum, they also wrote things on. You can see in ancient Greek prayers for the holy people has been depicted, and the Turks mainly scratched out the faces of the frescoes, believing in killing the soul of the painting as well. Here we have the story of Virgin Mary. Now, Virgin Mary in Orthodox religion sect is as important and sometimes even more important than Jesus. That's why the entire region is covered with the life of Virgin Mary. In Saint Sever Kora Church in Istanbul, it starts with Anne, who's the mother of Virgin Mary, which gets the similar Annunciation at well seen, and that's even Anne, the mother of Virgin Mary's story continues with Virgin Mary. Here, you get to see the Virgin Mary. Annunciation at well is here. Then it continues introduction to the temple. The engagement with Joseph is here. And archangels talking to Virgin Mary and many more that depicts the life of Virgin Mary is depicted here. Also, right about with the Greek inscriptions, these are the 13th century characters of Trabzon Rum Empire, who paid a lot of money in the 13th century. Basilius and his wife, the Empress, again with the inscriptions written in Old Greek, we built this church, which they didn't, but they made a lot of money.
That's the Laz boys. That's them, native to this area. These are the ones, their brain stops working after noon.
I love you! He loves us!
an amazing period. It's called Neolithic period. Neolithic period is interesting because what defines these periods is very simple. This is cave life, this is town life. Neolithic. People got out of the caves and started the town life. Why? Agriculture started. Okay, see it says 11,000 BC here? That's new in archaeology world because it used to say 10,000 BC. It might in some places. And what changed? Göbekli Tepe. This. Now there was one German archaeologist called Klaus Schmidt in the southeast of Turkey. He has found this. This is a capital letter T shape stone that goes into the earth approximately about 15 feet high, and it has these wild animals everywhere. Rabbits, goats, boars, horses, gazelles has been depicted. So he finds one like this, and there's another one across from it, two of them facing each other. Then, sorry, I will move my hands. Then there's an outer line. Then there is an inner line of these circular complexes. Okay? All of them. And that's when he realized Tepe was the first temple ever built by humans in the world. Wow. The Stonehenge date is 3000 BC. The date of Göbekli Tepe is 10,000 BC. This discovery changed something. They believe people got out of the caves and started the town life because agriculture started, so necessary food necessity. No. Now they then postpone it 1,000 years back because people first built temples, then they have gathered there, and the more they gathered there to worship from the caves, the more they communicated, they started the town life 1,000 years later. So it's religion first, not food. And we belong to Göbekli Tepe. Klaus Schmidt found one circular area 4 years ago and called it as the Garden of Eden, the very first temple, and now they have 16 of them everywhere. And we are going there for the first time this trip. We've changed that. I'm taking you to Göbekli Tepe, and the more we learn about Göbekli Tepe, the more you will love Göbekli Tepe, because like Egyptian pyramids, there is no place like Göbekli Tepe in the world. History of Cappadocia. Everyone, Cappadocia history is so rich. The earliest people that settled here in Cappadocia region dates back to 6500 BC. That's Neolithic ages. People just that came out of the caves in Istanbul, Antalya, we've seen yesterday on the map if you remember, and from Ankara region, they actually moved up to this part of the area where it is a lot more fertile. This area, we believe by the Neolithic period of 8000 to 6000 BC, along the coast there were storms, there was a lot of rain, there was a lot of floods. So the people from the shorelines moved towards to the center part of Turkey. Because of the weather conditions, around 6500 BC, Neolithic people settled here. And they played a very important role at Neolithic Revolution. They have sun-dried, baked, because clay that they have built in this area, both of them. They established adobe houses, and in 5 minutes we'll drive through a village where you get to see that the people still live in the same style, same conditions, homes and houses of 6500 BC, because the earth and the nature gives that much to the humans, and the humans created what they have around themselves. Just like the farmers today, they planted winter wheat and the barley and the hay. They domesticated animals, cows and the bulls, 6500 BC, and they got out of the caves and they started the town life for the first time in this village over here. Look, coming up on the left. Biraz yavaşlar mısın? Şunları göstereyim. These are the old dwellings and how people lived, and they have deeds, they have even door numbers. You see number 3. And people built, stone entrances to the facade of their dwellings, and they all lived inside these places, which were earlier Roman Hittite homes. Look all the way on the left, she still lives in this house. They use it as storage place. They have made by using the Yellowstone coming up on the left as a part of their living quarters, and they still base their houses in the caves. They live in there, and they all have flat roofs, everyone, where they sleep in the summer. They sun dry their apricots, they sun dry their vegetables up there to the roof of the houses. Most houses, they do have, you see, walls around their gardens to protect their areas, as well as they have stables inside by using the natural rock. And these are the famous Turkish men, again, early in the morning. They're sitting over there thinking about future planning things. Ground city, again, dates back 15th century BC, Hittites. The rest, which is, it has 5 more floors, are Roman period. 7th century AD, Eastern Roman period. And the main purpose of the Hittites to build these is again use it as storage for wheat and barley. When they were in 15th century, there are quite a bit of strong snow and that stays on the ground in this area, so they were crazy about storing these. They would make a hole in the ground and put the wheat and barley and cover it with soil. You're cutting the oxygen off so that no bugs can go in, and then it will stay like that, like rats and the other animals as well. People cooked in their houses, and they small amount, and for the whole city bread and certain amount of meat that has been roasted by sacrificing animals, not sacrificing but cutting the animals throughout this period is done in the main kitchens. They have built emergency exit corridors in case of any emergency of attacking Arabs from every single floor. And they had a defense system. They had a lot of wine, of course, because they built wineries here. And that wine they have made is different than our alcoholic level wine. It's much more like a grape flavored low alcohol drink that they drunk all the time. And that's it for the moment. Do you have any questions? And they have zillion, trillion storage places. Other than the storage place way back for the whole city, they have another one here, and this is the kitchens. When you look at the ceiling of the kitchen, look at it. It's dark, it's black, they cooked in here, right on the ground, put the fire, put the tripod on it, or stones, whatever, they cooked here. And when you look at the corridor, you walked in, look at the ceiling of the corridor, you see that it is even darker than it is here because the smoke went from here through those residences down there, okay, houses, all the way out to the air shaft. So that's how it left the area. Now, you put a stick right here and a stick through here, and you pour the wheat at the middle, and you roll it, and the flour comes out from the edges. While these are handholds so that you know where you're going. Especially in the corridor we will walk, you bend down and now you find your way around by pulling yourself out like this. And the second question, water. How did they obtain water? This is 8 floors. From the 8th floor, which is the bottom floor, they made a tunnel into the water surface of the earth all the way with an aim like this. When they find the water, they made a well right over it.
Yourself at home, you're in the living room.
My bedroom. from the 7th-8th century AD, pigeons were used as communicators between the monastic settlements. They would fly them. How do you train a pigeon to fly to the next monastic settlement? Basically with food. Take the pigeon, put the food away, pigeon flies there. The next day put the food a little further up, and then pigeon will find the food, and that's how they are trained. They still have pigeons. Why? Pigeons in the earlier times and still today makes the perfect dung for fertilizing their grapes and their fields. So they still feed pigeons for their dung today.
Oh, what a cozy little dining room with the smell of the wood stove.
Everyone, we are having lentil soup. Good.
Very good.
And marvelous bread that he makes, where you mix it with local butter and cheese. This cheese is made in the pots in this region. Honey, and then hot and spicy sauce over the bread. And then your options for main course is chicken on a stick, chicken shish. Then chicken wings. Then meatballs. Then they have a clay pot, which they bake with it. They put vegetables and beef in it, and they cook it in the oven. Then they have that same clay pot. Aslında sen kiremitten
Bir tane getir boşuna olmak hemen.
And they do have chicken with vegetables in it. Then they have something called menemen, which is they cook it in a clay pot, onions, tomatoes, green peppers, and eggs that they have, which is vegetarian. Also for vegetarians in the clay pot, they have vegetarian stew in a way, but no meat in it. Are your options. I asked him to bring the clay pot so that you can see what it is. And then at the end you get to see very Turkish. This is it. They cooked a lot with these clay pots in Turkey. Okay? And so that you can have beef or chicken or eggs or just vegetables cooked in this, or you can have the chicken kebab or chicken wings or meatballs are your options.
The bread, fresh out of the oven, is the best bread we've had in Turkey, in my opinion. And the lentil soup faces tough competition, but it's really good. Right to a good start. Famous site, and it's father on the right, mother on the left, and then the child is just down below leaning against the mother.
Gel 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 gel. Gel serbest gel. Tamam hop.
Our traditional party drink cherry and champagne cocktail. I didn't ask you, but if you like, you can have only cherry or just champagne as well. Cocktail is lovely.
Long drive.
Snowy Cappadocia.
In the Seljuk Turks period, they have carved this, and they have carved the kitchens, living rooms,
And pigeon houses with depots underneath is their house. So this whole area, which is walled, including this nice courtyard, is their house. And Mr. Ismail, who's the 4th or the 5th generation here, then this whole land became a national park. When it did, they have the deeds, but the government came later on and said, listen, this is a historical house. Look at the frescoes. You can't live here. Here is a new house to you. They gave him a new house in the city center, regular apartment complex, and allowed him to turn this into a cafeteria. Because nobody can take care of your own house. So they are not allowed to stay here, but they're allowed to turn it into a shop, tea house, where we come in and help them out as well. And this is their income, basically.